Poorhouse Rock is one of the worst Simpsons episodes in quite a while. This is the 22nd episode of the 33rd season of The Simpsons. This is directed by Jennifer Moeller, and I'll read the description from IMDb. I basically never read the descriptions for The Simpsons, but I think it sums it up quite well without actually spoiling anything. And this says, Bart finally learns to admire Homer, but a visit from a magical singing janitor changes everything they thought they knew. It's not quite as straightforward as that, but basically Bart goes to work with Homer and he feels that there are loads of perks of Homer's job and he wants to be like Homer. But then things go off in a different direction, and the second half of the episode is a musical. And I love the musical episodes of The Simpsons, but I thought the songs in this were terrible. Some of them were, some of the music was okay, but I found it to be quite boring. Not engaging, not memorable. I suppose it's a good thing it's not memorable because I didn't like the music, and the animation quality was fine, but I felt like it was just really dull and not that much to look at, and honestly, the narrative's really boring as well. Unfortunately, it's just a really terrible episode, and I don't exactly understand where they were going with this, and I kind of thought it started off really well with Bart suddenly admiring Homer. I thought this could take a really different direction. We could have a different dynamic with Bart and Homer, and then it just lost the plot in more ways than one, and I really didn't care for it. Yes, it's looking at the future of Bart's career and what things might be like in the future for him and other people. And one might argue that it's an interesting discussion on that or raises some interesting points. But I can't look past how boring everything was. Even if the messages are okay, the delivery of those messages is so diabolical, and it doesn't make any sense as to why they greenlit this episode, because it's just terrible and one of the worst episodes I've seen in a while. The pacing is okay. And as I said, the animation quality is fine. There's nothing particularly interesting about the animation. There are some episodes where we get to see, new environments or interesting characters. None of that here, but I can't fault the animation. Some of the music is okay, but most of it's really boring and dull and unmemorable. And the narrative kind of stopped being interesting at about the halfway mark, give or take. I didn't time it exactly, but I'd say I felt like I was enjoying about half of it. And then once the musical aspect kicked in, and normally I love the Simpsons musical episodes. There are a couple of weak links, but in general I love them. Not this one. The music wasn't good, the story wasn't good. There was nothing about this that I found interesting. Not only is there no spark, but there's nothing in it that's even remotely okay, at least after the first half. So unfortunately, I actually think I'd skip this episode. And it's a big shame as well, because this is currently the last episode on Disney Plus, but I believe that's only for 2 days. I think season 34 lands on Disney Plus on the 1st of November. Let's hope that's true, otherwise this is the last Simpsons episode I'll have watched in a while. I've watched The Simpsons every single day for maybe half a year, I think, and maybe longer than that. And this is where I end. Hopefully season 34 will drop within the next couple of days, as I believe is the case, because I desperately need to see the next episode. For now, I will unfortunately have to leave it on Poorhouse Rock, and all I can say is the name is very apt because it's very, very poor.